Sure. So Plastic was a novel I started in my late 20s, kind of early 30s. I had been a musician for many years, and I was just starting out writing. And it was a book I kind of discovered along the way. I worked on it on and off for about 10 years. And it's a book about a woman about 2080, 2090, a little bit in the future, and climate change has kind of increased. There's eco-terrorism and some violence in the world. And the book is about a woman attempting to find a happy life for herself and find love and figure out what life is in this chaotic national moment she's in, where everything seems to be in upheaval. And everyone in this world is a plastic figurine, so there's that too. It's a bit of a surreal book at the same time. And it's a musical, so now and then the characters break into song, and the lyrics are in the book, so there's a lot of genres in a way coming together. It's set in the future with all these kind of Barbie-esque plastic figurines. Not so much like the Barbie movie, more like the early weird Barbie shows that you might have seen on TV, like when you're 4 or 5 years old or something, where everyone's like kind of moving along stiffly. Yeah. So the process of writing this book was really interesting in the sense that I was learning how to write novels throughout my 30s as I was working on the book, and it kept kind of unveiling new things to me. So first I had a book just set in the future. Then that started to feel a little dull to me. I took a break from it, and then I got the idea, what if they're all plastic figurines, and I take this dystopian world, but make it a little bit more cartoonish in a way, and take all these heavy themes, but give it some humor and absurdism and things like that. And I'm just the kind of writer who loves to just sit down every day and spend a long time in the world with my characters. So the process was very fun, and if I feel like if writing's going well, you kind of forget you're writing and you're just hanging out with these weird plastic figurines all the time. So now the book is out in the world and I can't hang out with my weird plastic friends anymore, so lonely person, yes. So I think when you're writing a book, if it's going well, the characters you end up relating to the most are the ones who go through struggles that are similar to your own. So these plastic figurines in the year 2085 or something aren't necessarily going through things exactly like I've been through, but the type of loneliness they feel, the type of struggle they feel about what they're seeing happen to nature and the environment around them, all those things are really connected to. And I think the main character, Erin, is a, big chunk of myself on the page. I love Erin and what she's going through in terms of how disconnected she feels from the people around her, but how she still wants love and stuff. That was a lot of what my, sad but hopeful 30s were like. So it's a good question, because I do think writing even that you think isn't memoir or isn't autobiography, it still can be deeply personal because you're putting a lot of your deepest concerns into the lives of the characters. I think I didn't just want to have a book set in the future. I wanted to have a book set in the future where you could really see the effect of the passage of time on the characters and how different the world could be. So by changing the way they spoke and making their dialogue a little bit more clipped in the way we text, so they don't say to each other, I would really love to go to dinner right now. I want dinner now. You want dinner too? Like, yes. Make chicken quick. They talk in this more clipped, efficient way. So I have seen some books that do that and will change the way the characters speak if it's set in the future. So I took some inspiration from that. And then the challenge is, at first it's funny, but of course you want these to feel like full, complicated people with interesting lives. So they need to then use that surreal, shortened language to express their deeper concerns and things like that. So that was something always to focus on, is not to just have it be comedy. Yeah, so in the book, my main character, Erin, she's been through a lot, and she's kind of distanced and alienated herself from the world around her. So she kind of sees her life as a TV show that she's a character in, and then the TV shows that she loves to watch are in large part musicals where the characters break into song. So as Erin navigates the world, now and then a spotlight will come from the ceiling or from the clouds, just like in a musical or something, and she bursts into song. And it's not just meant to be, weird for the sake of being weird, but it's a way that she has of accessing her emotions while still keeping some distance from it, much in the same way I feel, people going through a hard time in their lives become obsessed with a television show or become obsessed with something to get away from who they are, but it's also a way that they're processing it. So she's singing about the deeper concerns in her life, But the fact that she just can't have a conversation with herself, that it needs to be a whole like musical number and everyone around her is dancing and all that, I think shows that she has a lot of self-growth work to do. I wish I could have musical numbers in my life too. I think that's part of it. I just wish I lived in a world where, you know, they break into song, you know. So it's been fun doing readings where the songs that we then created from the songs in the book get sung. So like the event we just did here at Logan today, my wife Rachel, the novelist Rachel Cochran, who is an incredible singer. She's unbelievable. In addition to doing so many other things well, she's this great singer. So she was singing the songs from the book, the songs from the album. So it's fun doing all these live events where you show up and you read a little bit about the book and you say, and then the spotlight comes down and then I get to step back and Rachel as Aaron kind of sings, and there's a sort of theatrical fun to it all. Yeah. It's such a strange book that I don't know if I want to say it mirrors my inner life too exactly, but I think it does in many ways, or maybe a lot of people's lives these days, where you feel like you're living your life, but you're so connected to your phone and you're so connected to your technologies, and then you have your immediate relationships and interests, but you also have this sense of the larger political landscape shifting and all these crazy things going on with climate change and things like that. So I think when I was trying to tell the story, I was trying to find a way in the storytelling itself, like in the form or whatever of the book, to make those feelings come alive. So Aaron's inside a TV show, it's a musical, everyone's talking strange. We don't hear Aaron's inner thoughts. She turns and talks to the camera and says, you know, I'm upset, I'm worried, you know, directly to a camera. She sort of breaks the fourth wall and things like that. So I was trying to capture something, a little bit of what it feels like to be alive today in the form of the book itself. So did my best with that. I think there's so much craft stuff you can learn, right? There's, you know, how to write great characters, how to create detailed worlds, how to develop plot. But I think the first thing, the sort of baseline of it all, is just really getting lost in your own imaginative world. I think anything good that's going to happen is going to come out of your ability to sit down at a page and connect to a character or connect to a situation and almost kind of forget you're there. And it's when those imaginary things start feeling really real and vivid to you, I think your best writing comes out of that. So I think if you start out as a writer and you're so worried about, am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? Do I need these skills? You stop having fun and you stop being able to slip into the experience. And I think that can really hold young writers back. So I think that's the number one thing, is just, you know, get lost inside whatever it is you're trying to do and develop a regular writing practice where you do that. And then all the other good stuff can come later. Yeah. I'm really grateful for this interview and for all the events today and the stuff going on. So it's just, you know, I can't tell you how much it means to spend so long alone creating something and then come out into the world with it and actually have people familiar with it and with interesting questions. So yeah, just a lot of gratitude for readers being around and people having thoughts about the book. And, you know, I think to the extent that my inner life mirrors my main character's loneliness, this really helps. You know, you come out, you're like, here's my little thing. People are like, we love it. And you're like, oh, you know, feel less insane now. Maybe we're all going crazy together, at least. Yeah.